I'm gonna document all of the costs involved from start to finish this project. Now, as I've said, I'm not in a position to just go ahead and do everything I want. I'm going to have to do stuff as I can afford it, but I am in a good position in that I'm in the building industry and I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I've got a lot of materials that I'll be able to use. Nevertheless, I want to have a really good record of all the costs going into this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this video series to do that. So let's get started. I paid 1,700 euros for this vehicle. Now, straight away on top of that, the transportation to get the vehicle here, that cost me 350 euros. Now, obviously, the nice thing about the starting phase of the project, tearing stuff out, that doesn't cost anything. But now this is the first material that I've actually had to pay for. I used up all my scraps, and so the polyurethane panels that I just bought and the wood planks that I just bought. So I will continue every time I pay anything for anything that I'm putting into this vehicle, I'm going to put it up on screen, and that means that I'm going to be able to go back and go through the videos and start making it, like, keeping a record, adding everything up, and I know exactly what I put into this by the end of it. It's frightening to think what it's going to be. So I see all kind of tips online on how to do stuff. Most of them are rubbish. I've just measured this and it's just a touch too long. Didn't even measure it. What I will do, rather than trying to guess how much it is and cut it like this, put the blade down, push the wood against it, push it a bit more and use the flex on the blade, hold it in place. So I cleared the rest of the panels off the walls. My moisture meter told me that I was not going to encounter any problems. My moisture meter was wrong. So I think it's important not just to fix these, but to figure out what the problems were, and the problem with this window is very, very clear. It is mounted really low down. The edge of the aluminium just touches, I mean, I could actually, you can see light through here. So it's the top edge, there's no surface at all for the sealant to do anything. The back window, whatever sealant there was on the outside of this had failed, because this window actually fell out as I was taking away the panels for the back wall. Just fell out. I had taken these off. I assumed that whatever sealant was on there was going to keep it in place, but no, it just fell out, so there was no sealant active there at all. This is not an easy fix. There's the vertical on the back wall. It's fine from here. There's actually metal there and there, which is why this wall feels so strong, even though this looks like it's going to be bad. But from the metal down, that piece of wood is completely gone, and it goes behind this piece of wood. So obviously I need to take both of these out. That's alright. That's alright. That's alright. In fact, that looks like it's been replaced. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as it looks. Let's get the wood out and see. Okay, so I need to fix this before I put this wall in, but fixing this properly means taking this board off, which maybe I can do now that I know there's metal in there. So I did take the panels off the back wall, and it turned out to be in great shape under there. It's going to be time for doing my insulation layer soon, but a couple of things that have to be done first. I decided to strip a layer of the linoleum floor at the base of the walls. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the floor yet. This linoleum or lino is glued down. There's some bits that are easy to come off and there's other bits that are terrible. So hey, let me know what you think. What should I put on the floor? I know that the standard is laminate flooring, but to be honest I don't like laminate flooring. I've laid acres of the stuff, and some of those acres, they were jobs where I was called in to relay floors where the laminate floor had got wet and got water damage. So I'm not really into laminate floors, even though I do have some, which is really good quality stuff. I'm wondering if there's something I could use that would be a bit better. Let me know what you think. So as I begin this second layer on the wall, you'll notice I'm not doing it how I said I was going to. The plans have changed. They've changed for a lot of different reasons. There's been a whole load of factors that have gone into this. One big factor has been you guys. I've had loads of interesting comments and criticisms, and I've taken them all into account, and that has changed what I'm going to be doing. Let me explain what the system is going to be. So here you see the basic setup. We've got aluminium on the outside, that insulation layer with little bits of wood that I've just been fixing. There's the floor and the frame underneath. Now the idea was to put a metal vertical in here on the outside of that layer, welded to the frame at the bottom. What I would then do is put a layer of insulation in between those metal uprights, and then the final layer would go on the inside wall. Now the problem with this is that cold can come in, the frame at the bottom will get cold, it will be conducted up through that metal frame, and then because of the cold coming in into the warmer wall, then condensation would form, and it would be forming inside the wall, which I don't want. So here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to add a second layer of insulation and wood inside that first layer that is already existing, and then on the inside of that I'm going to put the metal support. It actually makes welding to the frame much simpler. It's in exactly the right position, and then in between those metal upright supports will be the final surface, whatever that is going to be, something with a little bit of insulation value and waterproof. Now, yes, there is still going to be some cold getting transmitted, conducted into the inside. But any moisture that forms will be on the inside, where it can be seen and can be dealt with, and not inside the walls. It does also mean that those metal supports are going to be visible on the inside, but that doesn't bother me in the least.